G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, reviewing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present my final team update before my big team reveal, probably in 14, 15 days. We're not that far away from round one now, so that's going to be fantastic. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs before round one 2024. So that's my big long-term goal, so that'd be fantastic. I'm going to set a goal as well. I'm going to try to upload every single day for the next 16 days before round one. So it's going to be a bit of a task. I've got a few things happening in my life. And yeah, we'll see how we go. So, all right, Tom Stewart is the first player in my current team. I think it's a bit of a green flag in my eyes that he wasn't named captain. He can sort of still focus on being himself. So yeah, and at 36%, he's going to be a bit hard not to have. Now, I'll tell you what, on Twitter, you can follow me at Stephen D.W. Smith. I put out a tweet of Nick Dacos. I'm not sure if I'd be willing to start him or not. If I feel like I might have to start him due to his ownership. I'm not fully sold on the pick. And I've got a bit of mixed feelings about Nick Dacos because if I am going a budget premium defender, it would be Nick Dacos because I didn't like what I saw from Hayden Young at all in the practice game. So, Tom Stewart, I think. Sorry, back to Nick Dacos. So, yeah, I'm a bit 50-50 on him. Look, haven't got him on my side, but I tell you what, that tweet, it got Al Patton involved, got JP, SuperCoach's winner last year, 2021, SuperCoach winner in SuperCoach Mama, SuperCoach Insider. It was just crazy. I think another bloke, I think Chris from SuperCoach Insider as well. I was just like, Jesus Christ, I got everyone involved in that. I don't think I've ever had that, so that was pretty cool. But I think it got to a point where I didn't even look at all the tweets because I reckon there was about 30 different comments on that. Anyway, look, for now, we're not going to have Nick Dacos on our side, but I'm very tempted by him if we need to cut on money. But I've got Jordan Dawson at 603K. I don't think many people, many super coaches at all have two 600K premium defenders in their side, but I've just sort of rocked with it. It fits my budget. So I really like Jordan Dawson. I know he's named captain, but from what I saw, you're still collecting a lot of the footy. Does worry me a touch that he could be tagged a little bit, but I think he's just a beautiful player. I love watching players in my side, and Jordan Dawson would be a painful watch to not have in my side. All right, next one, we are going to have Elliot Yu. Yeah, just the biggest lock. Unless he gets injured between now and round one, he's just the absolute lock of my side. Yeah, there's no reason to not have him on my side. Bit stiff for Jack Bowes. I'm really tempted by Jack Bowes. But to be honest, very different to last year. There are a lot of different options down back, and that's why I've only gone to two premiums. And I guess you can make the argument that I've overspent on the premiums down back. But I do have a big belief in making sure you're getting the blokes that you feel like a definite top six in your come the end of the year. And I think these two blokes are a shoe-in my book. And certainly in terms of average, not sure how many games Tom Stewart's going to end up playing, but we're just going to have to see. So I have to bring up my screenshot that I took. Next is Nick Caulfield. Now, I did run in the twos in the latest practice game, but it was just a role that was absolutely fantastic. 208,000. With all of St Kilda's injuries, I think there's no reason he has to play. He has to play nice and early. So that's just how I see it. The next one's Ruben Ginbey. Oh, I've definitely spelled that wrong. Ginbey. He missed this week due to a toe injury, but doesn't sound too serious at all, so I'm not fussed. Connor McKenna, I'm going to need to see a bit more from him this week. Didn't look that great, but he's just an experienced head at such a cheap price. It's hard to knock him. I'm not sure how much he could be affected by the new sub rule. Unfortunately, I'm not a fortune teller. Darcy Wilmot played on the wing in the latest practice game, and he looked pretty solid. And 123K, we saw what he did in the finals. Looks bloody good. Charlie Constable. Sorry, I kind of want to get this out as quick as I can. Charlie Constable, 123K. He is probably the one bloke at 123K where I'd consider putting him on field because of how good his role sort of looks and the amount of injuries in Gold Coast backline. So it seems like if he does play, he's going to play a very comforting role for SuperCoach. We'll go Clayton Oliver next, 700K bloke, but I just like locking. I definitely want to lock one of Laird or Oliver into my side. Probably not both, because I remember last year I picked the three most expensive midfielders, and it just really hampered my side, and that's why I didn't have much depth in my team. So I certainly want to change that. You want to correct your mistakes from last year. And that was certainly a big mistake from me this last season. So I'm just going to go with one of the big boys in Clayton Oliver, and then the rest. I'm pretty comfortable in starting like Marcus Bontempelli. I'd love to see the Dogs televised match this week. I forgot who they're playing, but I'll be very interested to see how the Bont goes in his role. Darcy Parish, he did have a little bit of an interrupted preseason, but I think from late January onwards, he's just been fully firing. And look, I think he's a pod that I just certainly want to start. I know a couple of the SuperCoach boys have jumped on him. So, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with Darcy Parish in my side. Let's hope he doesn't get tagged by McGuinness round one. Hopefully that's Zach Merritt. Tom Green's another one. I think he had 50 disposals in the latest, 50 disposals. We'll see. Well, I mean, we couldn't tell. It wasn't televised, so we're just going to have to see. I mean, we will never know if that's true or not, but maybe it's just a marketing ploy from the GWS Giants to get more members on board. Might be a bit of a tough year for the Giants. I actually think they'll be all right next year, but Tom Green, he's certainly a lock for me at that cheap price. And I said very early this year, and look, Parish and Green were two blokes even back in early December where I was just really keen on them. And yeah, I think Tom Green is an absolute gun in my side. He's going to be an absolute gun, and I think he's going to be the next Andy Brayshaw. Well, he's going to be not the next Andy Brayshaw, but the Andy Brayshaw of 2023. Jacob Hopper, 332,000. Haven't heard anything bad from him. He looks solid as a rock in that Richmond midfield from what I saw. That's an easy pick. Finn Callahan is one that's entered my side. 244,000. I think hearing a couple of things. I've heard. I listened to George's latest team update, but where he said there might be a foot issue, and that's what he was dealing with a lot last year. But I'm not sure. We haven't heard anything. We haven't heard any confirmation about that. So, look, I want to see another look on Finn Callahan just to see his role. He's sort of like Sam Flanders, but he's actually got that role. You know what I mean? And maybe he's got a couple of years less in the footy system, but it goes Kelly, Canelio, Tom Green, and Callahan's next in line. And that's where we're hoping off Sam Flanders, but not sure how true that is. So, I'll lock in Callahan. We'll see if that injury news is true. Hopefully not. Will Ashcroft, he's going to be probably one of the best rookies we've seen on SuperCoach, a bit similar to Nick Dacos last year. I think I'm that confident that he's going to be very good. He's in similar mould of Dacos in terms of being a prospect. So, yeah, I'll lock that in. And Will Phillips, I think he's 22 now. And I think he'll play a big part in that North Melbourne midfield. Maybe fourth or fifth in line from what I've seen. And a couple of other ones. Judd McVee. You'll notice the trend with these defenders. All of them are defenders. Defender mids. So I was speaking to my Carlton mate on Sunday. We met up for a little pub crawl with a few of our mates. That was a good day. Bet Brad there as well. And I was talking to him. I was trying to remember the conversation as much as I can, but I was pretty deep into the beverages at this point in time with the conversation. But I do remember asking my Carlton mate, what type of defender is he? Is he a lockdown intercept defender? A lockdown defender type, or is he sort of that run and gun sort of bloke? Could look to intercept. And he said all the good, correct things. Intercepting, from what I can remember, intercepting, runs with the pill, basically another Zach Williams, I think he said. And that's just perfect. So I think I'd love to see him get a debut early, because that sounds like a really good role if they use him correctly. Judd McVee, with Christian Salem out, he might have an opportunity to play almost that Christian Salem role. Then Campbell Chester might get a go on the wing round 1, but I'm not too fussed because now I've actually not got a loophole. So if Chester misses round 1 but plays round 2 or 3, that's perfect. Because I assume that McAndrew won't be playing much once a couple of their rucks come back, because apparently he could be playing really early, and that's what we want to see. So he could be the loophole for the rest of the year. But if he does play, I guess we just lock him in at R3. You'd rather someone there playing than not. So that's just how I see it. Two locks here. Jared Witts looked fantastic against Essendon. Full preseason after his ACL. And then Rowan Marshall, absolute lock. Sol Ruck, nothing wrong with that. We love to see it from... Yeah, so look, there's not too much we can do in the rucks. There's literally only 2 that I really like in terms of premiums. If one of them goes down again, look, I might have to make a Radaglia my R2 or something ridiculous like that, but I'm pretty confident in these blokes. Now, for the forward line, I won't speak too much. What's the time? Oh, geez, I better get going. We've got Josh Dunkley, just as big of a lock as I get. Maybe not spending full-time mid, unfortunately, but just going to have to see. Connor Rosie looked fantastic against the Eagles, so excited for that. And him to play as full-time mid. And Tim Taranto was really good, apparently. Didn't see too much of this Richmond North Melbourne game, but apparently it was really promising. New bloke in my side, to my knowledge, is Ben Cunnington. Yeah, I just think in my head, who's after LDU and Simpkin? Surely it's Ben Cunnington, right? So he might rotate a little bit into the forward line and all that. Look, I just kind of needed a 12th premium. Didn't want to put it down back because I think 2 is the absolute max at this stage I'd want to go with. I was thinking about a 5th primo midfielder, but I was discouraged by Tom Mitchell's performance and don't really want to pick him. So, yeah, I've landed on Ben Cunnington. Tony McLean played a deep forward role, moved up the ground a little bit, but he's still got the scoring potential. Of course, he was a really good Supercoach scorer back in the day. And Asava Radaglia, didn't he just absolutely turn it on against the Hawks? I mean, it won't be hard to do this year, but with Jack Henry now out, you'd think Radaglia's sort of locked into that back line early days, even when Hawkins comes back. So I think that's really encouraging. And of course, they've got the great buy. So I'm not against it all picking Gold Coast and Geelong players at this stage. Then the last 2, Fergus Green, pretty obvious. I think he's a pretty good F7 where he'll kick goals for Hawthorn if it can get down there, if it gets down there at all. And Chandler, I heard some nice things of. I remember Adelaide were pretty interested back in the day with him. Yeah, and me and Zach in that Melbourne preview, we did have a chat about McVie and Chandler. It all sounded really promising. So, yeah, look, this is my team at this point in time. In terms of my loophole at this, well, actually, I mean, let's just assume Chester doesn't play. I'm thinking of running a Dunkley into Oliver setup early days. I could change my mind a bit there, though. I'm actually really tempted by Tom Stewart as well. I'm not sure if Collingwood will tag, so maybe I'll go Stewart into Oliver. So, yeah, look, thank you guys for watching. I'll be thinking of a few videos. I've got a couple of series ideas coming up where I could look to do like a press conference with some Supercoach content creators. So let me know if you're quite interested in that. So it would be like a 10, 15-minute video of just me as like a journalist, I don't know, Tom Brown, Mark Stevens, whoever, and I'm interviewing a Supercoach content creator for the upcoming season. I do a bit of research on them and think of some questions and I get them to answer. Yeah, so that sort of thing. So look, guys, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I can keep uploading every day until round 1. Let's pray on that. And one more thing. I'll hate to break it to you guys, but I don't think I'm going to do another league. I've got 2 leagues already, one with Supercoach Pro and then my own league. But I've only got 2 league spots left already, and there's 2 weeks left. So, basically 2 weeks left. So I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle to do another league. So I do apologise if you couldn't make the league. But yeah, it's just what I have to deal with, unfortunately. Like and subscribe. Let's try to get to 1,000 subs before round 1. Leave a comment or reply to all comments, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.